The conclusion is, if there's no God, then we're just space dust. That's it.
Whoa, 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 slow down there, Chad McVickerson, or whatever your name is. Although, come on, that title is spot on. But yeah, no, that's not how that works. And, well, we will get into the whys in the video, but damn, throwing me off my game by jumping right in like that.
And if we're just space dust, then just relax. Because it doesn't matter.
First off, I have an anxiety disorder. I am literally fucking incapable of relaxing, in any true sense anyway. So if God does the real, thanks a lot, prick. And again, aside from the fact that no God means you am just space dust, is an extremely false dichotomy. And even if you are dust boys, the idea that nothing matters in that case is shockingly philosophically underdeveloped, to put it nicely. And a bit dumb, to put it properly.
Hi, my name is Father Mike Schmitz, and this is Essential Presents. So...
Alright, chill out, Mike. You sound a little manic there, buddy. Do some breathing exercises or something. Although, I don't know what I'm talking about in that regard, because, personally, I don't find that very useful. But that is mostly because I replaced my lungs with more stomachs. I mean, these 50 pizzas have to go somewhere.
I recently was talking with one of our students. You know, this is someone who's searching, right? This is someone who's asking big questions.
While I'll make no guesses as to what was actually said, I do love that the big question to these guys often tends to be shit like mundane, childish nonsense, such as, am I so important that the creator of literally everything in the universe really does care about me? Because that's what a lot of religions boil down to. And I mean, it's solipsism of the highest order. You are not the center of the universe by any stretch of the imagination. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start being of legitimate benefit to the people who actually matter. You know, me, I exist, and that whiskey isn't going to mine itself.
And has read a lot when it comes to faith, has read a lot when it comes to aspects of science, and of course, caveat.
That caveat being they have read a bunch of religious shit because, you know, you didn't say aspects of until it came to the science. So one assumes that that actually means they have read a bunch of Bible and have barely scratched the surface when it comes to actual science.
Is I would maintain, and I'll maintain until the day I die, there is no contradiction between good faith and good science. Why?
Okay, science and faith don't really contradict each other per se, but that's mostly because one is actually doing something and the other is endless navel gazing. It's like saying that driving a car and watching TV don't contradict. Yeah, sure, they both involve sitting down, but one gets you places and the other is often an opportunity to switch your brain off and find out who won the most obnoxious being alive challenge. This year, my money is on all of humanity.
Because science is the pursuit of natural truth and faith is a pursuit of supernatural truth. Truth cannot contradict truth.
Truth cannot contradict truth. What a meaningless statement. I mean, define truth for starters. If it's reality, then most of, if not all religious scriptures fly in the face of reality all the fucking time. And if you mean personal truths, well, while there are no personal truths in science, that's kind of the point. So it's not even a truth in that regard. The religious aspect is so full of contradictory truths, even in singular religions, that discerning which truth is even being presented is basically freaking impossible.
So there is no contradiction between good science and good faith. So anyways, back to our story.
Okay, whatever. Again, it's not like that actually meant anything, but ho-hum. I hope you stay focused for the rest of the video. I mean, you are distracting enough as it is, with that chiseled chin and those eyes. No, I do not have a boy crush on Buffington Godman.
And they were just saying, like, but here we are, we're just specks, right? We're just specks in that are flying through space, and there are hundreds of billions upon hundreds of billions of stars.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool when you think about it. Although here's my positive take on the smallness of the individual. It is thus, you may be so small that the universe wouldn't notice when you are gone, but you also stand upon the shoulders of giants, giants so large that they have allowed you to hold the universe in your hands. This platform alone, YouTube, allows you to fathom the scale of the universe to such a degree that in some senses it is also small. And you try getting an actual piece of belly button fluff to do that shit. You're awesome, even with the terrible affliction of being a pitiful, worthless human. Good job.
And probably life other places in the universe, we're insignificant. Like nothing we do matters.
While you are small and insignificant in the grand scheme of things, saying that nothing you do matters at all is just fucking stupid. This is like saying that because you live in a city that nothing you do in your house matters, when people have invented world-changing shit from their bedrooms, or that being in a town means that globally nothing from that town could possibly impact anyone anywhere else. With the dawn of the internet, we know that shit just is not true, and in fact both go together, seeing as me, some asshole, in a small room, in a flat, in a small English town, chatting shit about philosophy and science will have reached tens of thousands of people with this video alone, and hundreds of thousands every single year. And I have a tiny channel by comparison to others. Size does not remove meaning, and it never fucking has.
All the squabbles we have these days and all the pressure people are under and to try to do this or avoid doing this other thing, he just came to this conclusion of just relax because it doesn't matter. You're a speck of dust.
And that just goes into another thing that I have a big problem with a lot of people. They seem to think that it's either everything you do is of infinite importance or it's of none whatsoever. And that's just completely absurd. Again, small significance is still significance. And if you think that there's nothing you can do to have any effect on anything, you are just plain wrong.
In the big scheme of things, and what even are human beings? We're nothing.
I mean, yeah, you're nothing, and there's a whole lot of nothing floating around the planet that have impacts on all the other nothing, creating sensations in other nothing's brains, whether that be pain or joy or weirdly contradictory acknowledged indifference. All that nothing is having effects on each other all the time. Almost like it's not fucking nothing. You just don't like the scale and the timeline. Well, fuck you, I do like it. In fact, the finitude of it all adds to the meaning, so stop being so intellectually lazy.
Therefore, since there is no God, just do what you want.
As I have always said, you try that and see how it works out for you. Now, maybe what you want is to chill and enjoy yourself and make other people happy. And that's cool. No one is likely to stop you. Although, why you would want to do any of that without any meaning whatsoever, I don't really know. But also, of course, you might not think that anything has meaning, but others do. Others, like me, don't believe in God, even, and deny your meaningless life conclusion. And thus, will put you down if your decision to do what you want leads directly to hurting people. Because again, and I know you don't want to hear this, but they have meaning. I'll bet even to you.
Because it doesn't matter. So relax and have fun. Just love each other. He's right. If there is no God.
Well, thank goodness that it is just the love each other routine. But then again, why do you do that sans meaning? Is not loving each other a meaningful experience to people? Because you ask most and they will give you an emphatic yes. So even your, I am assuming, totally real person who definitely you're not making up, they must have some kind of meaning going on, at least in their brain.
Then do whatever you want. Like that, yes, please do whatever you want. Because if there's no God, there's no right or wrong. There's no such thing as right or wrong. Why? Because,
well, that's just ironically wrong. Because again, just because universe has no interest in human well-being doesn't mean that there isn't something that does. And that something doesn't have to be God or even aliens. In fact, and this will blow your tiny little mind, but it's other humans because that's what I keep saying, duh.
All there is what is. All there is either, when it comes to right or wrong, it's not right or wrong. It is either what you prefer or what works, right? It's either opinion or utility. That's all life is.
Right, but that means there are rights and wrongs based on opinion and utility. Just because those things aren't omnipresent super gifts doesn't mean they aren't there and useful, and it certainly doesn't mean you can literally do whatever you want. It means that no strangely myopic Ultraman is watching you at all times. Well, no shit, of course that isn't happening. Because no one could care that much about anything without going completely fucking crazy. Although that would explain a lot of Bible God's actions.
If there is no God, honestly, like he said, relax. Because nothing you do matters.
Okay, let's go beyond the obvious human aspect of this shit argument and consider there could be no God, but if we are talking about meaning outside of people, then there are other options. I mean, there could be Aliens, judging our actions on some scale that we are unaware of, waiting to hand out prizes at the end of time. Personally, I'm going for most drunk done. This could be a simulation with hashtag #RealBoyBodies, waiting for those who pass to live in the real. The universe itself could produce some kind of meaning wave that makes meaning happen as a fundamental property of the universe. These are just off the top of my head, and I am sure there are a ton of other ways that meaning could be a thing, and a big important thing, beyond just people in the universe. And capital G God wouldn't be necessary for any of them. Would people stop assuming that they have everything figured out, please? It's really annoying.
No.
Fine.
That's a positive way of saying it.
No, it's a dumb way of saying it, but at least it doesn't lead to the possibility of stupid actions that will get the believer yeeted into the fucking sun. I can only assume that now you are going to demonstrate how shallow this idea is, and in fact your own reasons for being a good person, at least in your own eyes, are shit.
But what about saying it like this? Okay, if there's no God, then nothing you do matters. You don't matter. Because if there's no God, there's no meaning. Do whatever you want, because nothing you do matters. I mean, this is the heaviness.
Okay, but so what? This is what I like to call the argument from, but it makes me sad. My God, what a terrible reason to believe fucking anything. There's so many things in the world that make me feel bad. That doesn't stop them being true, for fuck's sake. And yeah, if ultimate reason for being doesn't exist and it is just that which humans, invented because they did, that doesn't change that they created it, and it doesn't mean that because that's all there is, you have to create some quote-unquote better version of it to make yourself feel special.
Of if there's no God, then do whatever you want. Fun, relax, peace, just chill. On the other hand, if there is God, then I may not do whatever I want.
You can't do whatever you want. That's actually a fact. Because think of it this way. There are constant forces in the universe, all of them fighting you every minute of every day, trying to bring you down, trying to stop you from moving, trying to make your existence cease. And yet you don't. You move through all of them. You fight them every moment of your life. And you do. And while it's not whatever you want, I mean, I think we all quite fancy the power of flight sometimes, but, physics. But you can stand up to gravity, and you can fight the kinetic forces of the world. Frankly, if that's not remarkable, I don't know what is.
Right? If there is a God who made this world on purpose and for a purpose, if there's a God who made you on purpose and for a purpose, then yeah, the bad news or the hard news is you may not do, and I may not do whatever I want.
That's still not true, because what if the purpose was, and get this right, for you to do what you want? Shonk. I mean, what do people start ant farms for? Do they want a specific series of super efficient tunnels, and if they fuck it up, they'll smash the ant farm to the ground and then douse the destroyed remains in gasoline, burning the ants alive? Well, certainly not a second time, because it turns out that fire doesn't just stay where you want for some reason. But yeah, the desire for an ant farm is to see what they do. That's like it. And they will do what their little ant brains want to do, which is to dig tunnels, gather food, and protect Queen.
Why? Because you matter. Because your choices matter.
And you see, there's also the point of what God? I mean, not only do you not know which things you can and can't do, which frankly to anyone who actually realizes they couldn't possibly know which religion is right while believing in God, they should be fucking paralyzed. There's also the possibility that the things God wants are the things you are predisposed to do. I mean, many people do pick religion based on, the things they already believe and thus act according to, or change the facts of their religion to suit how they wish to act. So what difference does it actually make? I believe it's somewhere between fuck and all.
Because everything you do doesn't just take on the weight of space dust flying through the galaxy, but everything you do takes on the weight of a being made in God's image and likeness that is destined to live forever.
Why do you want to live forever? Do you honestly not understand the dreadful ramifications of eternal existence? There are so many downsides to eternal life that to anyone who has actually considered them for even a moment, they will find the idea fucking terrifying. Imagine, many people are born with screaming void brain, aka that everything is a little bit awful all the time. Well, one assumes that in eternal life, you're going to be the same person. So, assuming that's true, it's going to include any of your mental health problems. But for forever, fuck that. One of the best things about being alive and on this ride is to know that someday, at least I'll be able to get off, and that brings me tremendous comfort. But if it turned out that I would then be put on just a slightly different ride, but it lasted forever, I would want to unalive myself. But apparently, that would no longer be an option. Fucking brilliant.
And so here's the question. The question is not just between, is there God, is there not a God? The question also is, do you matter? Do you not matter?
Oh look, repeating himself. And again, yes and no, it's more complicated than such a binary, for fuck's sake. Also, after giving it some thought, it occurs to me that if you got to eternity and you do get fixed of your brain issues, some of which likely dictate facets of your personality, some facets that you may even quite like about yourself, well, you aren't going to have them. You aren't going to do the same things, making you effectively not the same person, meaning that you never went to heaven. You were just deleted anyway.
The question is, do your choices have significance or are they completely insignificant?
Why does it matter so much? I mean, can you not fathom existence where you aren't of infinite importance? Because if that's the case, I feel fucking sad for you. I mean, your ego must be so wildly out of control that you can't be happy with being loved and loving those around you, and then just passing away to eventually be forgotten at some point in the future history. No, you must be beyond all of that because of how fucking clever and interesting and important that you are. Fuck me. I know for a fact that I am better than everyone on Earth. And even I don't think I'm that important. Sheesh.
Now, I'm not going to say choose one or the other because you like one or over the other. That's not it. The only reason we'd ever choose to believe in something is not because we like it, not because we prefer it, not because it works, but the only reason to believe anything is because it's true. So we have to ask the question. Let's ask the question of ourselves, of our own hearts.
Fuck me, truth isn't the only reason to believe something. People believe all sorts of shit that doesn't make any of it true. People believe things because they are convinced of a particular position. Just because you, Mr. God Mannington, have the ability to convince others of certain, frankly nonsensical beliefs, doesn't automatically make them true. It just means that a few more people have a less coherent idea swimming around inside their heads, and the world is a little bit stupider for it. If the meaning of life is to make everyone possible an idiot, I'm sure you're way ahead of the pack.
And ask the question, which one most accurately reflects our lived experience?
And if your answer is Magic Man sacrificed himself to save us all from himself, then you might be a dumbass.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the